All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something huge, how your small business can tap into a massive revenue stream by becoming a contractor for the state of Texas. If you've ever thought about government contracts, but just had no idea where to even start, then you are in exactly the right place.
And believe it or not, it all starts with this number right here. $70. Yep, just 70 bucks. That's the annual fee to get your business onto the state's official list of vendors. And honestly, it might just be the best $70 your business ever spends.
So, what could this tiny investment really get you? We're not just talking about a few small jobs here and there. We're talking about a gateway to consistent, large-scale projects, the kind of work that can really fundamentally change the entire trajectory of your company. So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by wrapping our heads around the sheer scale of the opportunity. Then, we'll talk about the key you need to get in the door. We'll walk through getting on the official list, learn to speak the right language, and finally, pinpoint exactly where to find that first big bid. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the sheer size of this. The state of Texas is always building, always operating, and you better believe it's always buying. They need literally everything you can imagine. We're talking major construction, IT consulting, janitorial work, transportation, you name it. If you offer a product or a service, there's a really good chance the state needs it. So you're probably wondering, how do I get a piece of that pie? Well, to get into this massive market, you need an official entry pass. And the single most important tool for any business that wants to work with the state is something called the CMBL. To put it simply, the CMBL is basically the state's official Rolodex for businesses they want to work with. When a state agency needs a service, any service, this is the very first place they look. So getting your name on this list is your first, and frankly, most critical step to even being seen. And here's where it gets really powerful. Registration isn't just about getting your name on a list and hoping for the best. No, this system actively works for you. It sends targeted bid opportunities right to your inbox, it instantly boosts your credibility, and it can even be a stepping stone to other valuable state certifications. So, how do you actually get your business onto this powerful list? You're probably thinking it's a ton of bureaucratic paperwork, right? Well, it's actually way more straightforward than you'd think. Let's break down the exact steps you need to take. See, it really just boils down to a clear 5-step path. First, you got to make sure you're in good standing with the state. Then you gather your basic info, figure out your service areas, create your profile online, and finally, you pay that $70 fee. That's it. Okay, hold on. Before you even think about starting that application, there is something absolutely critical you need to get right. You've got to learn to speak the state's language. And in the world of government contracting, that means understanding something called NIGP codes. So what are these codes? Just think of them as keywords or maybe hashtags for your business. When you register, you select the codes that match what you do. The state system then uses those exact codes to send you relevant bid notices. So the more accurate your codes are, the better your leads are going to be. Simple as that. For example, a general contractor would probably use a code in the 909 series. An IT consultant, they'd be looking at 918-29. A freight company, 96286. But, and this is super important, you're not stuck with just one. You can, and you absolutely should, list every single code that even remotely applies to what you do. Now, here's a golden nugget of advice for when you're creating your profile. Think about it from the perspective of the procurement officer. They're busy, they're scrolling through long lists. A clear, descriptive business name helps them immediately understand what you do, and it makes you stand out from the crowd. Let's just look at the difference here. On the left, a profile with a vague name like ARC-TRT LLC. What does that even mean? It's easy to just scroll right past that. But on the right, Dallas General Contracting. Boom. I know exactly what they do. A strong profile has that descriptive name, a professional website, and a whole bunch of relevant NIGP codes. That's the profile that gets the call. Okay, so you did it. You're registered on the CMBL, your profile's looking sharp. Now for the fun part. It's time to actively go out there and hunt for those Texas-sized opportunities. And I want you to meet your new best friend, the ESBD. That stands for Electronic State Business Daily. This is basically the state's official bulletin board where every single bid opportunity gets posted. You can check it every day to find new contracts. And remember, because you're on the CMBL, agencies can also find you directly through. So let's bring it all home. Here's your action plan, a final checklist to get you started right now. First, head to the Texas Comptroller's website. Search their commodity book to find all your NIGP codes. Double-check that your franchise tax standing is active, and figure out all the highway districts you can realistically service. Once you have all that ready to go, you can begin your CMBL application. Look, this whole system, everything we just walked through, was designed for one reason: to connect Texas state agencies with capable, ready-to-work businesses just like yours. The door is wide open. The only question left is, are you ready to walk through it?